What's up everybody, I hope you're having a good weekend. Now in this video I wanted to go over some potential breakout trades, and these are going to be some stocks I really don't cover often. These are mostly just going to be short-term plays. I have had positions in a few of these, but currently I don't hold any of them. But I'm going to show you some levels on the chart that we can definitely play some breakouts on. Now if you like these videos, don't forget to like and subscribe, consider hitting the notification bell, and also don't forget to check out the links below for some free crypto and stocks. Now the first stock on this list that we're going to look at is Tesla, TSLA. You'll notice that right now it is kind of playing this like inverse wedge, and we are converging here. I think we're going to have either a breakout to the downside or to the upside. Now a breakdown isn't all that easy because there are definitely a lot of previous levels here, so it'd be kind of choppy to play. Although I see a pretty clear-cut upside. If you play the breakout of 308, you could definitely scalp it to around 310. I would get out at that point and then play the next breakout of 314. I wouldn't just play it all the way through and hold it. I would get in and then get out on those certain levels. I wouldn't just continue to hold it. But on a successful break of this 315 area, could probably push it to around 318, 319. And these aren't necessarily levels that are going to play out Monday. These can play out throughout the week, and it also obviously depends on what the charts do pre-market and throughout the week. These levels can definitely change, and it could always set itself up for a good short. I personally think a break of this trend could be a potential good short. You'd want to just have a close stop loss if it doesn't play out. But that's basically how I would play Tesla. I'm mainly looking at it as a breakout to the upside. Downside to me, it seems a little risky, seems a little choppy, but that can of course change with the days. And next up, one that actually does look great on the short side would be nvda, and this one on a break of 126 could easily take it down to 125. I would probably wait for the break of 125, and instead of playing that 126, break 125, bring it down to around 123. Now if it does flip, start pushing, I would actually play the breakout of 134 area, because it's very likely once we break past this, it could flip it as a support and bounce and push higher. Now another thing you'll notice is it does seem like it's kind of consolidating, it's kind of tightening up. We might get this tightening and then we're going to break out of this kind of downward wedge. I don't think this is a perfect pattern, but it's still something to watch. If it does break this, it's possible we get a little push. But I'd say right now I'm definitely short biased to nvda, and I would rather play the short side than the long side. Although if you're talking about it from a long-term stock buying perspective, I think nvda is actually a great time to start adding. But like I said, to me, at least for the short term, it's bearish. I mean, this is in a clear downtrend since November 2021. And next up, I wanted to pull up Apple, AAPL. This one also is in a downtrend, and I would personally play a break of 148 to the downside, probably bring it down to around 146, 145 area. And to break up and go long, it'd probably be right around this 153. Could be a great pivot. If we can break above this area, very likely to hold as a support, but it will be a resistance point in my opinion. So if we can break out of that resistance, could definitely push higher on the short term. Now where do I think Apple's heading? I personally think it's going to come and test the 140s. I don't really see it going all the way down to 130. It's of course possible, and just looking at our previous run up, you know, we started this right at around 130. I don't personally think that this will just come down all the way to 130, but I could, like I said, easily see it coming into the 140s. And honestly, as a long-term ad, I do like Apple 130, 140 area. I personally wouldn't really add to it right now. I could definitely see it coming down a little bit lower, testing some lower levels. And next up is going to be AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. This one has also been in a downtrend since November 2021, and we have a very important level to watch. This is this 72 area. If we break this, we're definitely falling further. It was a previous very strong support at very many points. If we break this, it's going to fall a lot. Now, you will see with AMD, we are on a clear downtrend, and I think it's just a matter of time till we at the very least test this level again. You know, I'm not saying it's going to break necessarily, but you're going to definitely want to watch it. And if it does break, I think that will be pretty big for AMD. That being said, where it's at, I think long term, it's a great stock to add from a long-term perspective, but short-term, I could easily see this coming down, and I'm not going to be scared to play those levels to the downside. And next up is going to be another one that's already made a huge move to the downside. This is FedEx, and you could say that this drop has already fully played out. However, I will be watching this for a break of 157. And if this does start popping, head up towards 165, it's very likely we fill this gap, work our way to 170. Now, one thing to think about is right now where this is at, is this is pre-pandemic levels. This is before we had that huge drop. It is possible we come down a bit more. I could see this coming down to 142 before finally recovering. It doesn't have to do that, but just be aware that this doesn't have to be the bottom. This doesn't have to be the bottom. But I will be closely watching this level. If this breaks, we're definitely in for some lower levels. So that's basically it for you guys today. How are you feeling about these stocks? Are you going to play any breakouts this week? Let me know what you're going to be playing down below in the comments. Thanks as always, guys, and take it easy.